this will be kind of the third part of the unit circle. I'll probably do 4 parts just to make it super simple and easy. You'll see I've cleaned up the graph here. Now, if I go back in and if you remember all of your points, okay, so here at my 45 degrees, okay, and if you care, this is also pi over 4. You'll see that a lot of places, whatever. Here where it intersects, my x coordinate is root 2 over 2. My y coordinate is the exact same at root 2 over 2. Okay, if I look back and I go into my others, okay, here I have 30 degrees, okay, which is pi by 6 for when that matters. This point right here, my x coordinate is root 3 over 2. My y coordinate is 1/2. And the last thing that we really show you guys is this angle here at 60 degrees. Okay. And if I went up here at 60 degrees, you'll see that my x coordinate is 1/2 and my y coordinate is root 3 over 2. Okay, there's another couple other points that I do definitely want to show you so that you never forget them. Okay, this guy right here, if you think about it, this is right along my x-axis. Okay, so the guy goes all the way over my x-axis, and you can see clearly on the graph there, it's 0. And how far have I gone up? Sorry, it's 1. And then how far have I gone up? It's 0. This point right here, hey, guess what? It's 90 degrees. How far have I gone over? Well, 0. How far have I gone up? You can clearly see on the graph it's 1. Perfect. Okay, so you'll also remember that before I had a lot more going on than just this. So I'm going to zoom back out to the unit circle. I'm going to throw in all of my special triangles here. And we're going to look at kind of how these things relate and how you can fill in the entire unit circle. So as a reminder, this guy is 1, 0. These guys are going to be super easy, so I'm just going to fill them in right away. This is all of my, now here we just have, I'm going around the unit circle here, okay? Here my x is at 0 and my y is at -1. Now, if I go from, let's do I usually find the 45s the easiest. So let's just think about the 45s. My x coordinate on this was root 2 over 2. My y coordinate on this was root 2 over 2. Now, as you'll notice, if I go right straight across from the intersection, I'm going to hit that point right there with my beautiful straight lines. Now, all I've done here is I've flipped over my x-axis. So my x is negative root 2 over 2. My y has stayed exactly the same at positive root 2 over 2. Down here, you can think of this, hey, look, blah, 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 blah. Well, here, I've kept my same part on my x-axis, so I'm negative root 2 over 2, and I've flipped over my x-axis so that my y becomes negative root 2 over 2, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to head on over to here. And check this out here. My x is positive, right? Because I'm on the right side of my axis. So I'm at root 2 over 2 for my x, and I'm at negative root 2 over 2 for my y because I'm below my x-axis here. Okay. Now, guess what? We can do that with all of these other guys. So here, okay, where I had my root 3 over 2, that's a 3, definitely. You guys can tell. Okay. And 1/2. If I go all the way over here, well, I'm just going to flip my x. So I have negative root 3 over 2 and 1/2. Here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my x. So my y or my x is still negative. So I have root 3 over 2. I'm going to switch the sign of my x because I'm now below the x-axis. And then this final point here, I have my positive x at root 3 over 2, but I'm now a negative y because I'm below the axis. And hopefully by now you can see the pattern, right? So this point here, where my x is 1/2 and my y is root 3 over 2, okay? Here, I'm just going to have a negative x, and I keep my y positive. Down here, I have negative both, okay? So I have negative 1/2, and then root 3 over 2. And then here, I have a positive x, but a negative y. Okay, so a lot of teachers will go through, and rightly so, and they'll call this the cast rule. Okay, and they'll it's a related concept. Okay, so CAST. Okay, so here you're thinking about this is all of your cosine, is just your cosine positive. All of your things are positive here. Your sine is positive here, and your tan is positive here. We'll go through that a little bit more later, but I definitely want you to see it. Okay, so cos, this is your x value. Okay, this is your X and Y. Okay, sine is your Y value being positive, and tan is negative X and negative Y. Okay, and you'll see all of my coordinates line up for that. So here's the complicated, like, holy cow, that's intimidating, and there's a lot going on, and I agree there's a lot going on. I'm going to take a quick moment to show you how to absolutely easily memorize this, but I do want to do that in a separate section. So right here, you have the unit circle. You kind of see how everything is related, right? If I take my 30 degrees, hey, look, I take it right across, and it's there as well. Okay. I take it down, and it's here. So this is the unit circle in all of its, I'm going to say, glory. It's kind of ugly, especially how I draw it. But you're used to that by now, so I'm not that worried. Take a moment to look this over. Take a moment to understand that we have reference angles, right? So this angle right here to this side is 60 degrees. Well, if the whole thing is 180, okay, then this side right here is 120 degrees. So if you're at 120 degrees, okay, your triangle is here, but these are your X and Y coordinates. It's going to be very, very important later. For right now, it's most important that you kind of know how to draw this out. Okay. For future video, for future kind of references, I'm probably going to be dealing just with this quadrant 1. Okay. I'm going to be dealing just with the top right here. So this is quadrant 1 up here, 2, 3, and quadrant 4. Okay, I'm going to be dealing just with quadrant 1, and then you can just use the appropriate negatives in order to get all the rest of them. But that's it for now. The easy memorization is later.